Hi guys, my name is Razi, and today I want to talk about the last economical collapse that we had in 2020 because of coronavirus. And I want to look a little bit at those who took place in 1987 and 2008. Now, why do I want to do this? Well, first, because I want to spot the differences between these collapses, and also I want to reach to a conclusion. Is the economical crash and has the economical crash ended? Are we out of the dark? Because everybody talks about Dow Jones rising above highs in 2019, 2020. And well, if you look at a chart like the biggest indices in the world, like Dow Jones and S&P, you actually see that the economy is growing because we have new highs. And so today I just want to put a little light, if I can, in your mind and make you realize in what stage we are in right now, and what can you do if there's anything in order to you know stay safe in case anything happens. So let me just share my screen and dig into it right now. So I'm starting with the crash from 1987. It was this one here. This line represents the fall that the market took. I'm talking about Dow Jones Industrial, the biggest indices in the United States. And I think that right now, still the most important one, the market that tells you how the economy looks like overall. So in the whole world. Now, this decline gave us 488.3 points. I wrote here in Romanian language. This is why you might not understand. Now, what happened? When there's a crash, people suffer. People lose jobs, businesses fail, and so on. Banks do not loan money. So even after the crash, the collapse ends, there are still businesses that are not able to get new loans in order to survive, and then uh, they will die in the years to come. Now, I always talk about trading, and I promote this industry. Why? Well, I know it comes with a lot of risk. If you dig into the markets and you try to become a millionaire overnight, you will most probably lose your money and then have a sour taste, because this is what happens when you're in a rush. And I always tell people this because I was in a rush in the beginning, and I lost some money until I realized that things have to be done in a certain way. Now, if you have the right approach, this industry, it can be a blessing, and it will be a blessing to anyone who does that, because it helps you create your own economy. And just a quick story about myself. 3.5 years ago, I was in a business, my own business. I was failing, and I was in a lot of debt, and my wife was pregnant. So I was very frightened that I don't have what to offer to that child that is about to come into this world. And I was always angry and frustrated. Somehow the universe guided me towards this industry. Now, I wasn't a winner from the beginning, and I lost money and I suffered a lot because I did not have the right mindset and I did not have the right approach. But if you keep pushing, you will get there. Everyone in this world can become successful in trading. Now, what we're offering is the help, the necessary help, in order for you to start and not to suffer as much as I did. I have created systems for each strategy. So I will not give you only the strategy, but I will give you the entire system that will protect you in case you go wrong somewhere. Now, let's get back to the economical crash in 1987. So this was the length of it. It started around here. Now, I have this blue arrow because there's one strategy that I developed. It's an end of the day strategy, which means that you stay in front of a chart at the end of the day. In case you're in the UK, you stay at 9 p.m. So you're lucky. If you're in Romania, at 11 p.m. And if you're in the US, at 4:30 p.m. So that's the time when Dow Jones Industrial Average closes. And you take a decision, a really, really fast decision, based on the patterns that the market is showing at that exact hour. Now, if you have an entry, and you can speculate. You can place a trade either to buy or sell, which means you can make money when the market grows. That's when you place an order to buy, or you can even make money when the market drops, and you place an order to sell. You speculate that the market will go in one direction than the other, and if you're right, you earn money. Now, if you're wrong, and you will be wrong, you need to have a risk management plan. And actually, that's the most important part of trading: capital preservation. The only thing that you know before you place that order is how much you can lose. Now, if you have, let's say, a $5,000 or euro account and you place a trade, you have a risk management. So how much are you risking from that capital? 1%, 2%, 3%, 5%. And that's the highest that I would go, because even 5%, traders that use 5% usually are ultra aggressive or have smaller accounts. Now, you know that you can lose. So 5% out of 5,000 euros is 250 euros. Okay. So you know you can lose that. But so if you get into a trade and that is a winner, you usually, your target is to win more than you can lose. And it's a great example. An economical crash, it's a great example, because here where the arrow is, the same strategy that works now worked in 1987, would have given you a perfect entry here at this level, and you could have collected from the market 488 points. Now, markets move in points, for those of you who do not know that yet, which means that each point will get the value that you give. So if you say, when you place this order, market, each point that goes in my direction or against me will be valued at $10 per point. It means that at the end of this movement here, you cash in 488 points multiplied by 10, which means $4,883. Now, it might not sound much right now in 2021, but back in 1987, this would be approximately $50,000 to $60,000. Okay. So this was the economical crash in 1987. Now we move forward to 2008, and there were other crashes in 2000, the dot-com crash, but I just want to talk about the most, let's say, important ones. And I'm sure that most of us, if not all of us, remember the 2008 crash, and here it is. So this crash, as you can already see, is way bigger than the one in 1987. Now we have a blue arrow here. The same strategy would have given you a perfect entry somewhere around here, and you could have taken out of the market 5,484.9 points. Again, if you valued each point at $10 per point or euros, at the end of this move that took approximately, I don't know, 5 months, 6 months, you would have had 54, almost 55,000 euros or dollars. So what happened here actually? It was it was a period of time where people lost their jobs, their businesses, they didn't have money. So overall, people were suffering. Now, people who suffer during these economical crashes are people who rely on only one source of income. Which one is that? Is your business or your job? Usually is these two the main ones. Now, if your job fails you, I mean, the company that you work for releases you, okay, so you lose your job, then you have no money. You cannot pay rent, you cannot pay mortgage, you cannot buy food, and so on. So there's a lot of pressure on you. But what about if you have a secondary or a third source of income, passive source of income, that can sustain your needs during this type of crash? Now, from my point of view, trading as an industry is one of the best types of income sources, in the way that you're building your economy in bull years, when the economy goes up. So you have many opportunities during a bull market, and you have the opportunity, if you know the right strategy, to catch this type of fall when you approach, or when you enter an economical crash, like the one in 2008, or like the one in 2020 that was caused by coronavirus. So the question is simple: why would you suffer? Now, in 2008, you could have done this amount of money. Let's move forward to our current day and look back at 2020. So this is the crash. It was actually as a magnitude it isn't as big as the one in 2008 still, and I'm going to let you know what I mean when I say still, when I say still. But it generated a crash, and this blue arrow again with the strategy, this end of the day strategy that I developed, it would have given you an entry here, and you could have collected over 7,000 points. Again, multiplied by $10 per point. If you choose to put that value per point, you would have gotten out of the market over $72,000. And that this movement took place in approximately 40, 50 days. So in 40, 50 days, while people were losing jobs and businesses, you could have stayed, relaxed somewhere in a beautiful place and get out of the market this amount of money. Now, what about now? Because many people talk about the fact that the market just moved past the high we had in 2019. So right now we have an all-time high. So theoretically, everything looks good. So the market is growing, the economy is growing, right? Well, I really don't believe that. Why? Well, first of all, let's look at the length of the crashes. So 1987, you see this small line here. Then 2008 was bigger than 1987. Now 2020, you see the inclination of the line. It was the most abrupt fall from 1929 so far, but it wasn't as big as 2008, right? You can easily spot that. This is why I took the lines and placed them here. So are we safe? Are we out of the dark? Well, let's think about the businesses that are still surviving. So many of the businesses have died during this crash, but many of them are still surviving them. Now, what they need money, they need cash flow. Now, we have a problem here because banks do not offer loans so easily anymore, and it will be harder and harder, which means that those businesses will fail. We will have many more people without jobs. We will have more suffering. Now, what about people uh, who got laid off during the crash? And there are still businesses that are letting go people because they don't have the money to pay for their salary. What happens to them? First of all, they cannot pay rent. If for those people who pay rent, but second of all, they cannot pay the mortgage for those people who have a house already. Okay, so is the crash over? From my point of view, no. Now let's move a little bit further and think about the emotions, the emotional status of the people, because we are all suffering, not only because of the disease, but because of the fact that we are still locked inside of our houses, and the life changed for all human beings on the entire planet. So you are not part of trading tribe, you're not learning trading with us, and you missed this drop here. What about the next one? Now, my question is this: I'm talking about an end of the day strategy that will give you entries at the end of the day. If you're living in the US at 4:30 p.m., if you're living in the UK at 9 p.m., if you're living in Romania at 11 p.m. Now, the amount of time that you have to dedicate in order to look at the chart and see if there is a pattern, it's approximately 1 minute to 2 minutes. Let's say 5 minutes. Let's consider that your laptop is not open yet. So with everything that you have to do, open your laptop, put in your password, open your brokerage account, put in the credentials, logging in, open up the chart, and just look at the chart is 5 minutes. Now, if you have a pattern, if the market tells you, yells at you, saying that, okay, you can enter with a trade, buy or long, it doesn't matter, it will take you another 3 to 5 minutes, maybe 5 minutes in the beginning to actually place the order, telling the market, okay, I'm placing an order that you're going to grow or fall based on what I see on the chart, on this simple strategy. And just close the computer and look at the chart tomorrow evening, 4:30 if you're in the US, 9 if you're in the UK, 11 if you're in Romania. And that's about it. And by the way, if you move forward, if you decide not to be part of the herd and that's a good thing. If you decide that you want to build your own economy and become financially free, and have a stable source of income that will provide regardless of the economy, well, you will become part of our trading tribe, our mastermind. And you already have their colleagues that started without knowing anything, and right now they are taking out money from the financial markets, and they are enjoying every movement of the market. As long as there's movement up or down, we make money, so we're enjoying every part of it. Okay, I'm sorry for all the people who are suffering, but those people can actually make a difference in their life by saying yes, uh, and choosing to invest in themselves and learn a trading strategy with us or with somebody else. It doesn't matter. The most important part is to choose the right teacher, the right mentor who can guide you on the right path and help you get those money out from the financial markets. So this is what I want to talk to you about. Thank you so much for being here. Share this recording to anyone. I beg you to do this because you might help that person. And subscribe, like us, and we are going to come up with amazing recordings and with a lot of value. So don't forget to do that, okay? And for those of you who want more details, you have the links in the description below, the www.therichorpoor/free webinar, where you can learn more about trading and decide if this is the right industry for you, okay? Thank you so much. Wish you all an amazing 2021, and see you soon.